Why, hello. If you're new here, I'm Avi. If you're not, then you probably already know what time it is. I make a lot of art and book related videos. And today I'm finally here with the long awaited final part of my Percy Jackson Season 2 book versus show analysis. Oh my lord, that was a mouthful. Yeah. Ugh. Finally have a lot of free time, so I figured, you know what? Let's start with finishing the books I want to finish and making the videos I want to make. Oh, it's such a beautiful day outside. I may even go read outside because it's so beautiful, but also my cat really loves to snuggle, so she'd have to come out with me. But yeah, I've only got 2 episodes left to compare, and how many chapters now? Let me check. 17, 4 more chapters. So we can. I'm gonna hopefully try to finish this today because, yeah, again, I've been working on this series for so long, and then hopefully over the summer, probably in July or August, because I'll need a break just mentally. I'll do the first book, and I will compare the first season, and the first book together. Differences, similarities, changes I liked, changes I didn't like, and then when season 3 comes out, I will do the comparisons live with each episode. I'm so excited for season 3 because the third book is my favorite book. I've read it thrice over. I've worn my copy down. It's something about that book I love so much. I really love Thalia. She's she's my favorite character. Like my she just holds such a dear spot in my heart. Also, I don't know if this is controversial, but I ship Thalia and Zoe. And let me tell you, the Yuri in that book, the lesbian rivalry, it is something else. That is also why it's my favorite book. I'm like, this food is so fucking good, Lois. It's just so good. Like, oh, here I am, yapping away, making a long ass intro. I shouldn't be doing this. But yeah, hope you guys are excited. I'm excited. Probably gonna make myself lunch before I start reading because I'm actually really hungry. But yeah, I'm so excited to be done this book. Okay, so I've caught up on the reading for episode 7. It only covered about 2 chapters, like a chapter and a half. So not very long. So it makes sense that the episode is only 35 minutes long. It's a very small episode. But this episode is a very major change from the book. Like, while it's only like 2 chapters, pretty much everything that happens in these 2 chapters is completely different in the show. So yeah, let's get into it. Cutting back to what happened in the last episode, Annabeth gets kidnapped by Luke in the show. In the book, does not happen at all. They get the fleece, everything is chill, everything is great, and they escape the island. And the hippocampite, they take them as far as Miami Beach. So they're strolling around Miami. And Clarice is like, oh, we're gonna fail, we're never gonna get. They realize how much time has come by. It's been 10 days, and they're like, oh shit, like the trees definitely dead right now. Like, we have to get this fleece back. It's gonna take us days to get back. Like, if we train, like, how are we gonna get there? Percy's like, who has any money? And everyone's like, yeah, no, I don't got any money. And Tyson's like, yeah, I got this bag of cash. He's got this bag of cash because Hermes gave him a bag of cash, but it was lost when the ship blew up. Um, like the warship. I forget it was called. Twin, not the Princess Andromeda. Clarice's ship. Like, it was lost when the ship blew up. Yeah, Tyson found it. He thought it was food for the hippocampi, so he took it, but no, it was just a bag of cash. So Percy gives his bag of cash to Annabeth, not Annabeth, to Clarice, and is like, "This is your quest, you know, take it home, save the day." Also, at this point, also right before this, Clarice tells them all her prophecy, even though Clarice told them her prophecy in the episode before. Whatever, and that's how Percy realizes, oh, you need us. You'll go home alone, but you need us, twin. Um, yeah. So gives her this cash, and so she sends her on a plane so she can fly her ass back to Camp Half Blood from Miami. Slay! so lovely. Don't ask me how the logistics of how all this works. Um, so then, so then shortly after, Clarice leaves. They're literally just walking around Miami, chit chatting. All of a sudden, Luke pops out of nowhere and is holding them at knife point. He's like, "Hey, twin, we're gonna go on the Princess Andromeda. You're being kidnapped." And they're like, "Great, great." And our lives. Like, what's the point of living? Anyways, so Luke brings him to the ship. And he's like, "So, where's the fleas? Where's the fleas? Like, I know you have the fleas. Where are you hiding it?" And he's like, searching them, and Percy's like, "We don't have it. Like, we don't have the fleece." And Luke's like, "What do you mean you have the fleece?" "Oh shit, there were five of you. Where's Clarice?" And they're like, "Yeah, we sent her ass away. Like, she won't be home." So like, Luke starts crashing out. He's like, "Prepare my horse," which is Blackjack. Just like, "Prepare my horse, y'all. Prepare my Pegasus. I'm gonna try to beat Clarice." Um, okay, twin. um, yeah. And then like, and Percy's response is, hey, sorry, is to go to Luke and be like, "Hey, Luke, fight me one on one. Like, let's do this one. Like, we're gonna fight. We're gonna fight." And Luke's like, "I'm not gonna fight you. I will beat you." And and Percy just taunts him. He's like, "What? You don't wanna let all your friends see you get your butt kicked by me? Like, I'm 14. Like." And so he's like, "You know what? Die." Until they start fighting and fighting and fighting, and then like Percy gets like injured pretty badly, and right when he thinks he's about to die, in come the party ponies. And then again, this is where we have some major, major differences from show and book, because they completely removed the object of the party ponies, so they had to completely rewrite a new way for them to get saved the from the boat, and how to get them back to Camp Half Blood, so they can get to the fleece and for everything, yada yada, crazy. So yeah, a lot of changes, a lot of changes. Okay. Also, forgot to mention this. I just looked at my notes. Right before they start, one-on-one fighting, um, they're having this like Percy and Luke are having this confrontation, and Percy like notices there's like a waterfall creating a rainbow, like in the mist. So he like slyly reaches into his pocket, grabs his last drachma, and throws it into into the mist, and it's like he suddenly like is like, "Dionysus at Camp Half-Blood." Into the iris message opens, and all of Camp Half-Blood is witnessing. And he gets Luke to literally confess to everything, betraying the camps, poisoning Dahlia, yada yada yada, everything. And he's like, "I did all this. Why are you making me repeat this?" And he's like, "I just want, you to tell the audience." And Luke's like, "What audience?" And Percy's like, "Yo, Swin, you gotta look behind you." And behind her is Dionysus and all of Camp Half-Blood. Um, and then Lily, Dionysus, and Tantalus are having this conversation, like, "Is this real? Yada yada. What's happening? Da da da." Like, come on. Um, and then Dionysus is like, "You know what? This is real. So that means Chiron did not poison the tree. So Chiron can come back and be, activities director. Tantalus, you're fired." And then he goes like literally right straight back to the underworld. And then that's kind of like what causes Luke to triple crash out. And Percy's like, let's one on one, let's fight. Now we're gonna cut to the show for a sec. The episode opens with a flashback of Annabeth's memory of how Thalia, quote unquote, dies. Her sending them away to go fight what are they called? The Furies. And then Annabeth coming the next day to the hilltop, and it's like, "Where's Thalia? Where's my twin? What happened?" And it's a tree. And they're like, "Where's Thalia?" And like, Chiron's like, "She's the tree." Gets me every time, y'all. Um, and then like, all of a sudden, the tree starts glowing and starts talking to Annabeth, and Annabeth wakes up, and it's actually like a dream that was kind of induced by the Golden Fleece. We find that the Golden Fleece kind of gives you like a brief kind of dream or visual when it's healing you. We also kind of see this with Percy later, so it's like, I wonder, does Thalia get like a brief dream vision when she's being revived and healed, and would we eventually get to see that dream? Would it haunt her in her nightmares? We'll never know. And again, Annabeth has been kidnapped, so Luke tied her ass to a bed, and is holding her there with the fleece. And after she wakes up, she's trying to escape. But Allison comes in the room, so she like fakes being asleep. Allison takes the fleece, um, takes it to Kronos' coffin so they can try to use it to heal Kronos. And Annabeth tries to find a plan to escape from her ropes and escape overall in general. And then we cut to the hippocampi taking them to Miami Beach, taking them to the pier, dropping them off, and doing their thing, doing us. And we actually get to see a member of the Aphrodite cabin, one of her sons, and we get to see him use his charm speak on a ship captain. Really cool actually, like because we don't actually get to see the use of charm speak in Percy Jackson. We don't get to see that till Heroes of Olympus. And then Tyson mimics Allison's voice, and they kidnap this son of Aphrodite, and they get a key card and they get away in. And then they tie him up. Like, what better to do, And they get their way in. And they go and they're finding Pookie Annabeth. Like, Percy will do anything for that homegirl. After they tie up the son of Aphrodite, they find the key card and they are gonna Percy and Clarice have a little squabble over how they're gonna get in. Clarice wants to go right for the fleece, but Percy is actually being a little bit rational. He's like, the fleece will be heavily guarded. Like, we have to get Annabeth first. Like, I have her cap of invisibility. Like, we can sneak in. And not Annabeth. Clarice is like, this is your fault. You literally gave the fleece to Luke. Because literally in the last episode, Annabeth, gravely injured, gives the fleece to Luke to save Annabeth's life. Like, see again. So we're continuing on from this to the show storyline and drifting further away from the book storyline. But it is very rushed in how that happens in the book, and not gonna complain. I don't have a preference for which way it goes, so I don't really care. I'm just enjoying all the content I'm getting. Also, because Percy knows Clarice's prophecy already, she starts taunting Clarice, and it's like, you will fail because you are so selfish. Like, you don't want to have any friends. You don't want to have the help of other people. Like, that's how you will fail. And she gets mad and crashes down Percy and grabs the key card. He low-key right, but Percy's gonna do what he gonna do, and he gonna get his girl, okay? And so Clarice and Percy, they get their way off the ship. They're gonna find Annabeth. They're gonna find the fleece. And they go to Grover. They leave it up to Grover and Tyson to like figure out a way to get themselves home. And they call, what is her name? They call Sally, and Sally comes and picks them up because apparently, actually, instead of the hippocampi taking them to Miami Beach, they take them to the freaking Long Island Sound, which, okay, they took them that far. Okay, correlation timeline things like that. Those are not making sense to me. Okay, twin. Okay, but they call Sally and Sally picks them up. So they're not actually on the boat like they are in the book, but it's fine because the party ponies aren't there to save them. So yeah, Luke puts the fleece on the sarcophagus. Kronos starts to heal. And Clarice and Percy need to lock the freaking in to find their girl. Like, come on. Also, this next bit is like extremely ironic. Percy goes looking for Annabeth, and Clarice goes looking for the fleece, but instead, Percy ends up finding Luke and the fleece, and Clarice ends up finding Annabeth, and they have this. It's like, to me, that was ironic and cute. But yeah, as he's looking for Luke, Percy actually stumbles upon where Blackjack is being kept, and kind of puts two and two together that he is gonna free Blackjack. And Clarice goes and saves Annabeth because obviously she overhears Allison and her homies talking about how they're gonna finish Annabeth and how they're gonna get rid of her. Bruh, no, I too would be like, okay, then you're getting jumped. If you want to touch my girl, you're getting jumped. Like, game over. Also, again, Clarice serves. Like, I love everything about her. Like, every time Yoga John gets to do an action scene, like, bro, like, I have the funniest picture of Dior. Like, I'll put up here to me. I made of Dior. Like, oh my goodness, like, come on. I always love her when they let her eat hot stuff. Like, come on. Yeah. On his way to go find Luke and sword fight with him and crazy stuff. He sees the stable that Blackjack is being kept in, and then he hears someone coming to like check on Blackjack. So he tricks her, locks her in a like storage hut for like food and beach and like boat supplies. Takes her key card and is gonna go explore the ship. When he like hears Blackjack in his head, And he goes to check it out, and he's like, "Shh, be quiet, like people might hear you, bro. No, like he's just in your head, twin, and we can't hear him." Kind of disappointed, but also like when Grover talks to animals, we don't hear the animals talk back to him. So it would make sense that when Percy talks to animals, we don't hear them talk back to him. We just hear like his kind of like response. So everybody else just thinks he's like schizophrenic. But yeah, then he decides like, yeah, okay, I guess I'll free you, Blackjack, like Ohana and stuff. After freeing Blackjack, which is a very short scene that doesn't happen like that in the book. Percy goes and he finds Annabeth. He's got the invisibility up, and he's like, "Wise girl," and she's like, "Oh my gosh, Percy, you're here, twin, I love you. Let's get married." No, that's not what happens, but still, chemistry. So she kind of like frees him and is like, "Come on, Annabeth, can you like run? We gotta get off the ship." And she's like, "We have to get the fleece, twin." And Percy's like, "Don't worry, like Clarice is doing that." And Annabeth's like, you're working with Clarice? Like what? I get stabbed once. I get like fatally injured one time, and now you're working with Clarice? Like, oh my god, twin. And they're like trying to escape, and all of a sudden Luke comes in to go check Annabeth and like manipulatively talk to her in a grooming way. Like, let's not do that, twin. Let's not do that. I'm sorry, Luke. You just I know you like in the end what happens, but I don't like you. I don't like you. Yeah. So Percy gotta hide. Put on his invisibility cap. Annabeth pretends to be tied up still. Um, so she can let Luke, spill the tea on where the fleece is at, so Percy can go get it. Also, Luke, not sure if Annabeth kind of knows because she's unconscious, but Luke tells Annabeth like, Percy gave us the fleece for you, like, and he's gonna save the world and destroy it. And Annabeth's like, he wasn't thinking about you stupid idiot. He was thinking about saving my life because we're in love. And then Luke kind of realizes, oh shit, Percy was eavesdropping. We have to go kill this little child. How dare you trick me, little sister? How dare you not be on my side anymore after I betrayed you? Also, before Allison and her gang, her gaggle of teens, go to try to assassinate a 13-year-old girl, Kronos actually speaks to her and tells her to do it. I think for two reasons: one, just to manipulate her; also two, Kronos. I think at this point, I think he realizes just how smart Annabeth is, also how much she means to Percy, and if she's still around, Percy would not be willing to join his cause. Without Annabeth, he would be lost. He would be destroyed emotionally. Like then he would be 100% willing to join Kronos. Also, Annabeth is so smart. Like she 100% could figure out how to defeat him overnight. Like, let's not do this to him. Anyways, screw you, Grandpa. Stay in that sarcophagus. Stay in that tomb. Also, while Luke is, still with Annabeth, trying to manipulate her and stuff, Annabeth is like trying to, convince Luke to be good again. It's like, no, like the fleece can save Thalia, like it'll bring her back to life and we can be a happy family again. Like, how dare you like use it for Kronos? Um, and Luke's like, no, it won't, because Kronos told him the fleece wouldn't be able to heal Thalia, because again, Kronos is manipulating Luke. Duh, he wants the fleece for himself to bring himself back to life so that he can live and keep manipulating and like take over the whole world and destroy everyone and everything. Like, come on, like, are you not realizing Grandpa is manipulating you, twin? We got to Percy breaking into Luke's cabin, and all of a sudden, as he sees the fleece on top of Kronos' like tomb, sarcophagus, coffin, whatever you want to call it. Kronos starts talking to him. It's like, save the world, like join my side, let's be evil together, twin. Percy's like, let me think about it. Yeah, no, I don't want to join your side. And he like snatches the fleece off the tomb. And then Luke bursts in the room. Is like, sword fight. And then at the same time as that's happening, Allison and her gaggle of teens are coming to really kill Annabeth. Like, and then Clarice busts in, saves the day, and fights them all. And we also get to see Annabeth judo flip someone. Like the absolute body she is. Like, come on, like, girls get it done. Girls get it done. Percy and Luke disarm each other, and then they're straight up, scuffling like boys, as boys do. And they literally knock into the coffin, with Kronos in it, and it falls over. And Luke chooses to, save the coffin over pursuing Percy. But, at the last second, he saves the coffin, he chases Percy down, and he stabs Percy! So Percy has no choice but to use the fleece to heal himself. And yeah. Again, Percy does get stabbed and injured by Luke in the book, but it's Chiron that heals him with nectar and ambrosia. But again, we haven't seen any nectar and ambrosia in the show. Like, come on, bring it in. Like, I want to see. like even if, like mention it, like even if we can't see it because you don't know how to put it in a visual format. If that makes sense. Just make some lemon bars and be like, yeah, that's it. That's ambrosia. Make it real yellow or orange or whatever. But then yeah, Percy heals himself with the fleece. He realizes the true power. He's like, oh shoot, we can't let Luke have this, and we gotta bring back Thalia, I guess. Annabeth and Clarice have escaped. They run up onto the main deck. There's a bunch of Luke's goons. They're about to fight when Blackjack flies in and knocks him over. And then Percy meets up with them and is like, Clarice, take my noble steed Blackjack and fly him back to Camp Half-Blood with the fleece and finish your quest. She's like, really, for you? She's like, yeah, it's your prophecy, bro. You needed us to help you, but you're gonna fly home alone because we helped you. Twin, like. But anyways, yeah. In the book, again, Blackjack gets freed in the commotion that is the party ponies coming onto the ship and fighting back. So he just kind of flies off and we never see him again. Also, Blackjack is a she in this book for some reason, and only in Sea of Monsters is Blackjack a she. Like, slay my transgender horse. Like, yeah. So it's like, oh, thanks for giving us more Blackjack screen time, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, again, Clarice flies off, and they run, and guess who they meet up with? Sally, and guess what car she's in? If you notice, Paul's. So we're gonna get a taste of Paul next season. They get in the car, they give starting Camp Half Blood, they give him the recap of pretty much everything that happens. And Annabeth's like, I'm so excited, I might finally be able to see Thalia again. And Grover's like, yay, we might see Thalia again, but like something crazy might happen. Yada yada. And it kind of like cuts to Percy and it zooms in on his face, and it's like the expression is almost kind of unreadable, but it's like you can tell that he like because of this and just in general, he does not want Thalia to wake up to like come back from the tree because again, the nightmare he had where she was Kronos, and then again, he doesn't know what she'll do with the prophecy and what's going to happen. He doesn't know the future. And then also he's very scared of again losing Annabeth to Anne Grover again because they're both her friends, but mainly Annabeth to Thalia to not like she's his best friend. Like if he loses her to Thalia, like what's his point? Again, his whole thing is like his loyalty, but what happens if he doesn't have people to be loyal to? Like sad, crazy, life altering. Okay, so the very last thing that happens in that portion of the book is Percy realizes that Kronos is oh goodness. Percy realizes that Kronos is Chiron's father, but I believe he kind of realizes that way earlier in the show because they actually gave Percy a bit of a brain in the show. But yeah, so that's everything that happened in the book and everything that happened in the show for episode 7, and those are all the comparisons and things that happened. Again, this whole episode was practically one big change from the book. So don't have a lot to say in the respect of what did and didn't change. Pretty much everything changed. But it was a good episode. Like, loved the Percy Beth. Loved the development of the background characters. And Luke. And then, I don't know, I just love seeing Clarice kick ass, so I appreciated that. But yeah, I don't have a lot to say about this episode. It happened. It was pretty good. No complaints. But no added commentary, It's like 12 in the morning. I'm tired as hell. I'm gonna go to bed. I'll see you in the morning for episode 8. Okay, so it's the next morning. Well, technically the next afternoon. It's like 4 p.m. I finished Sea of Monsters, all caught up, and I'm ready to do my comparison for the show versus the chapters. And let me tell you again, the this and this next episode, just like episode 7, is a very big difference from the books. It takes a complete different turn. At the end of episode 7, we see the giants. They're coming up to the camp. They're about to break down the fortress. They're about to come and attack everybody. And then episode 8, there's an ensuing fight between Luke's army and Camp Half-Blood. None of that happens in the book. Let me give you a brief rundown of what does happen in episode 8. Like I didn't in the book equivalent of episode 8. It only covers about 20 pages, and it's about 2 chapters long. You can only see that's all the notes. The other notes I've taken for the other episodes have been like multiple pages long. Like this is not even a whole page. Like, and those first 2 sentences are from episode 7. So, in the book, it starts off with Chiron taking the kids back to camp. Yada yada. They make it there just in time, right as Clarice gets there to put the fleece over the tree. Everyone's happy. Yada yada. Everything's awesome. They all do a little quick celebration, and then Chiron's like, "So yeah, the chariot race is back on. Like, cause I know, we flopped in the beginning of term, so now we're gonna have a better chariot race to put on. Yay! Everyone go celebrate and practice and get ready." And so they're like, "Okay, I guess everything's chill." The barrier starts healing. They remake their chariots. Percy and Annabeth do it together. Really cute. La da da. Adorable little cutesy pies. Again, they win the race. Everything goes beautifully. Like, nothing really happens. And then shortly before the night before the chariot race, because they had to rebuild their chariots and then race. The night before, Percy's in the stables. He's petting the horses, doing Poseidon things. And Hermes actually visits him once again, and Percy's like, "Sorry, I couldn't convince your son not to be evil. That's just who he is." Hermes is like, "Yeah, that's fine. I guess he's evil. Here's a letter from your dad." And then on the letter, it literally just says 2 words: "Brace yourself," like for what's about to come. And Percy has no idea what this means. He's like, "Okay, twins, we're just doing this, I guess." And then he goes to bed. And the next day, yeah, he does the chariot race. And then after the race, he calls Sally and he's like, "So actually, this is what happened over the summer." And Sally's like, "You did what? With whom? Where?" But then eventually she's like, "Okay, love you, son. Just come home safely, so I can, beat your ass and send you back to school." And then Tyson gets a message from Poseidon, like a dream message, telling Poseidon that that he should come to the forges, come work for him, yada yada, strengthen their relationship. That happens very differently in the episode. It's a shared dream that Percy and Tyson have, and Poseidon actually speaks to Percy. Again, no, this does not happen at all in the books. It's a very brief kind of reference thing. Yeah. And then after they win the chariot races, they all do a celebration, and then they go to sleep for the night. And that night, there's a horrible raging thunderstorm that lasts all night. And then all of a sudden, he's woken up early in the morning by Grover, and he's like, "Yo, Percy, get your ass down to the barrier. Like, get to Thalia's tree. Something happened. Something happened." And they're not telling him at all what's happened, and they're being so vague about it. And Percy goes to the tree, and he sees 2 girls kneeling there, and Annabeth was on guard duty last night, so immediately he thinks, "Oh my gosh, Annabeth is hurt." And as he gets closer, the girl that's hurt, it's not Annabeth. Annabeth is the girl that's okay, leaning over the hurt girl. He goes up closer, and he tries to help the hurt girl, and everyone's like, "What?" And he's like, "Why isn't everyone helping?" He's like, "Hey, I'm Percy. Everything's gonna be okay. Who are you?" And Thalia's like, "I'm Thalia, daughter of Zeus." End of book 2. Gag. Biggest cliffhanger ever. Leads into one of the best books ever, book 3. But yeah, that's essentially the end of the second book, and it's very, very different in the show than it is the book. There's a bunch of changes that I do like, a bunch I don't. I'm gonna say I don't like the fact that there's this big battle at the end with with Luke and Kronos' army versus Camp Half-Blood. Like, it is slightly paralleling what's going to happen in season 4 with Battle of the Labyrinth, but it's like I feel like it wasn't 100% necessary. You could have used the money that you put into the budget for that fight and for those stunts for other stunts and other scenes that you deleted. Like there are plenty of other scenes in the book that were deleted. Like you could have given us the second chariot race. Things actually going well, but instead you were like, yeah, let's just have a fight and have Percy and Luke go 1v1 for the third time this season. They're really just building up that tension, I guess. Anyways, let me put on the episode and react for you and tell you what I like, what I don't like, what's driving me crazy. So the episode opens with what truly happens with the Furies that night. Luke, Thalia telling Luke to take Annabeth to run and that she will do this fight, and then she's telling the Furies like, come at her, like come on, like if you want to fight me, bitch, like let me go have the fight of the century. And then it cuts to the title card, so we don't exactly see what happens, but later on in the episode we do see what happens, and we do see how Thalia was truly turned into the tree. And I really love that scene, and I have more commentary on it for when the time comes. Everything is going crazy. The campers are like, Tantalus, we need more guards. The monsters are getting in. He's like, I don't really care. Like, I just want to do my thing. And then he gets blown up. So all the campers are like, oh crap, we gotta fight back. What do we do? And meanwhile, Mr. D is like doing his thing, drinking his grape juice. Drinking his Diet Coke. And then we cut to Percy and Annabeth. They're trying to find a way into camp. Tyson hears something. They go to the edge of the forest. Guess what? It's Luke. He's got like 50,000 bands, which we'll see more of next season. And then like they eavesdrop, and Tyson starts saying everything that Luke is saying so that everyone can hear, and we find out that Luke has members in the camp, helping the monsters get in, giving them information, yada yada. We learn about that later too. Ugh. It's all coming together. It's all coming together. And he's like, yeah, we're gonna go attack the tree. Useless scene to me, I don't know, but like also like development for later. Also, as they're eavesdropping, Luke finally drops his plan that is also Cronus' long game, that after they defeat Camp Half-Blood, they'll use the fleece to revive the tree and bring Thalia back, because she has a lot more vengeance against the gods than Percy has at this point, and Cronus believes that she's much more willing to be on his side and burn everything down than Percy would be. So it's all just to get another player in the game. It's one big chess game. Like, oh my goodness. And so, again, this is adding to Percy's fear and doubt. Like, should Thalia even wake up from the tree? Like, oh, beautiful. And then we cut to Clarice fighting her way through the forest, trying to get to the tree with the fleece, and she runs into some fellow campers, Chris Rodriguez included. I'm not gonna say anything just yet, and it's like, oh, so heartbreaking. Like, oh my goodness. And they're finding their way to the tree. Meanwhile, Grover and Tyson go one way, and Percy and Annabeth go the other way. They have this like sweet little shot, more development, beautiful. While they're walking through the camp forest, they get caught by a bunch of campers who are on guard. They're like threatening them, yada yada. It's like, how dare you steal this quest from Clarice, which doesn't happen. They're just kind of ignored when they come back from the quest in the book. Percy's like, you know what, take me to Tantalus, we'll discuss this with him. And they're like, yeah, Tantalus died. It's like, the freak, take me to Mr. D. And then there's Mr. D, singing camp songs to the children, drinking his juice. And they bring Percy in. He's, Dionysus is like, what are you doing here? I don't want to be in charge. Go away. Percy's like, we have to fight the war twin. And he gives this beautiful motivational speech to the campers, which again will come back later in seasons 4 and 5. We cut back to Clarice in the forest with Chris and some other Camp Half-Blood scouts. Yada yada, they're talking. All of a sudden, Chris goes, Katie, let me see your bow. And she's like, the freak, why would you want to see my bow? Like, we all got these weapons from the same place. And then he's like, she's a traitor. She works for Luke. A coup is happening. Everyone's fighting everyone. And then guess what happens? Chris stabs Katie, the archer girl, and he's like smirking at Clarice, and he's like, yeah, she's not the traitor. I am. Give me the fleece. You can join Luke. We can all be cunty. Yeah, no, Clarice is not down for that. She is not down for that. She's fighting her hardest, even though she's getting jumped. Chris slashes at her leg. It's like, oh my gosh. Imagine the boy you like is like, turns on you and is attacking you. And they start chasing her down when she's got the fleece, trying to get to the tree while she's injured. Dear Lord, save her. Twin. Yeah. Yeah, eventually Chris catches up to her, you know, beating the crap out of her. It's like, you thought I liked you? You thought we could be together? I don't like you. How dare you? And now I'm 100% a regard shipper. Like, I mean, yeah, he hits her with a hard blow. You thought we were friends? Like, you don't have any friends. She's like, oh yeah? In comes Grover and Annabeth, here to save the day, here to mess you up, here to get that fleece back. Save the day. Slay, twins, slay. And then they go back, they rescue up Clarice, and they head straight for the tree so that they can save Thaya. We cut back to Luke, who's arrived at the border. He's at Talia's tree. It's literally falling apart and breaking off into pieces. He literally captured a bunch of 12-year-olds who are standing guard. He's like, don't worry, I know I poisoned you, but I'll bring you back and you're totally gonna want to be on my side. I'm gonna hit him with this. Like, yeah, and just when, Luke thinks he's won, thinks he's Kronos has won, thinks the day is going, as his army shows up, you know who else shows up? Percy! His army of children! To fight this war! Lovely. Oh my gosh, one more thing that I forgot that happens in the book that doesn't happen in the show that I'm really sad about is right before Tyson leaves to go be with Poseidon, he gives Percy no wait, not before that. Before the chariot race, Tyson gives Percy the watch he makes him, which turns out it's not just a watch, it's a shield, and it's the most beautiful, intricately designed shield ever. I do not know how they are going to be able to bring that to life in the shield, because the shield is like a mural of memories. I don't even know if I can describe it. It's just so gorgeous, like. But obviously it's not included because they don't do that chariot scene, and it's probably too complex to create right now. Oh goodness. But yeah. After Percy and his gaggle of kids come back, we cut to a really high budget fight scene that cuts to a one-on-one fight between Percy and Luke. Percy disarms Luke. He thinks he's won the day. Nah. Luke's a grown man. He's gonna beat you with his fists. He don't need a sword. He will kill you with his hands. And so Percy's just like, getting his ass beat. And, Luke grabs his sword, about to go deliver the killing blow. Guess who comes in, saves the day once again? Well, not Big Brother, because he's little brother Tyson. Physically, he's larger. He is younger, though. Yeah, Percy, we need to get you in that water real quick, because your nose is definitely broken. I actually love how they did the CGI for Tyson's eye. Like, it's wonderful. And I love how they committed to having it the whole season, not like having him have two eyes when they're not like in a magical situation because of the mist. Like, oh, gorge. But yeah, Percy got the blood all over his face. In comes Annabeth, Clarice, and Grover in on the chariot. They're running into the battlefield. Annabeth gets shot with an arrow. Percy loses his shite. Guess who shoots her with that arrow? Allison. Allison is on site. Percy runs up. He's like, babe, are you okay? Like, I love you. Not really what happens, but like essentially. And everyone's like, let's kill the tree on Luke's side. And they're like, no, we can't do that. And like Percy realizes what's happened. He grabs the fleece and he goes, Clarice, this one's all you. She has the fleece on the javelin spear, or like Percy stabs the fleece through with like a spear, and then Clarice throws the spear, hits the tree dead center. Immediately Thalia wakes up. In the book, it takes like 3 days. Immediately Thalia wakes up in battle with her flower, and her powers are going off because of what happened pre her getting turned into a tree. Crazy. I can't believe Clarice made that shot. Like, damn, twin. And again, that magic worked so fast. Like, twin. Yeah, Thalia wakes up from the tree. Bolts out a blast of lightning. Percy gets hit by it. Immediately, both Thalia and Percy pass out. Two sides of the same coin, my twins. And then we cut to Percy having a dream. This is where Poseidon visits him. He's like, you need to prepare for the war. Everything's gonna be crazy, but I'm like here for you in spirit. Also, I'm taking Tyson. And Tyson's like, I prayed. I prayed for a brother I prayed for a friend when I was so lonely. And Poseidon sent me a brother. Like, stop. Truly stopping. Percy wakes up. Thalia's still asleep. We get a cute usual when you sleep moment. Percy has a heavy black eye, like twin. Give him more healing. Like, give him more nectar. Give him more ambrosia. Put him in the water. He look beaten. He look battered and bruised. They go to the big house. They go to talk to Kronos and meet up with everyone. And not Kronos, Chiron. Blah. And Chiron tells them the truth of what really happened the night that Thalia turned into the tree. Oh, also we get this sweet moment between Clarice and Percy. Oh, he's like, "We could use you, twin. Still a little mad at you, but cause you're a dork." Uh, why did I say that? Like it was a combination of twerp and dork. Oh, they're strengthening friendship over the books. It's so beautiful to me. Like she becomes his right hand man. You know. Oh, Chiron was there. He was ready to help her fight the Furies from a safe distance. He didn't want to approach, I guess. I don't know. When instead of attacking, the Furies kept a distance. And do you know what they did? They told her the great prophecy, and they're like, "Yeah, Loki, Poppy gonna use you. Poppy gonna use you." And she's like, "My dad would never." Lightning bolt. Zeus kills him. Zeus sends him back to hell, and he shows him from his daughter and says, "Yeah, you're gonna be my soldier, don't twin. Yeah, you're gonna fight my war, and you're gonna do my bidding. Sorry, not sorry." She's like, "The freak, I will never ever be your soldier. Not in a million years would you touch me being a soldier." He's like, "You know what? You're not gonna be my soldier. I'm gonna put you on hold until you decide you will be. You guys are into a tree. You guys are into a tree. You guys are into a tree." It wasn't an act of mercy. It was an act of control. Ooh. Okay. I love this change for many reasons. But mostly for what it implements for the next season. So if you haven't read the books and you don't want to, you're gonna wait for season 3 to actually come out, I would skip this next little bit. Basically in season 3, right on the cusp of Thalia's 16th birthday, instead of, deciding to take the prophecy into her own hands, she joins the Hunters of Artemis and chooses to be I forget what it's called, but like essentially the head hunter, like the leader of Artemis's hunting pack. And she chooses to spend the rest of her life devoting it to Artemis and to those girls and to being a huntress. She is going to spend eternity doing everything she can to never fight for her father. She said, "If you were going to turn me into a tree to freeze me, to control me, so that one day, when I was ready, I'd fight your battle for you, good luck. You will never see me again. I will spend eternity making you regret that. I will be there to haunt you for the rest of your life. And I will not be fighting for you. I will be fighting for for another goddess." Like, beautiful perfection. But then also, yeah, she's going to live for a very long time and just despite her father, and she's not going to have her brother. And, oh, it's a whole thing, y'all. It's a whole thing. Yeah, I think it was a really great change. And again, Zeus isn't kind. And again, choosing to turn her into a tree instead of, actually let her die, that was not mercy. That was not mercy for anyone. Chiron confirms everything that we all know. This entire quest was all just a trick from Kronos to get them to help them have more pieces in the chessboard, to help them have multiple options of children to exploit and to manipulate. Pissing me off. Yeah. Anyways, in bursts Thalia. She's like, "Where's Annabeth? Where's my baby? Where's my Pookie?" She's all of a sudden, Grover moves out of the way. There's Annabeth, and she's no longer the sweet little girl that she was 6 years ago, but a grown teen. Oh, heartbreaking. And she's like, and then Thalia's like, "Where's Luke?" So about that, twin. About that. Anyway, season over. So yeah, the episode ends with a dramatic zoom in on both Annabeth was holding Thalia, and then it zooms in on Percy, it zooms in on their faces, their expressions, yada yada, beautiful, desperate, and then cut to black, end of finale, and we get a cute shot, a cute preview for season 3, which I'll get into when it's time when I'm gonna make my season 3 videos. Yeah, those last 2 chapters, very very different from the book. Let me tell you, big diverge to the right, to the opposite direction. Oh my god, people are screaming outside. Didn't mind it too much. Again, do I think we needed that final battle between Luke and Percy in that final episode? Not really, but I'm sure they're gonna parallel to it in the later seasons, and they're gonna draw back to it. And we're gonna get some lovely content. But yeah, I really love it. My favorite part again is gonna draw back to the change they made for Thalia. It's perfect, and like again, the gods always lie. Again, history is always written by the victors. We don't know the story of the people who've lost. Like, so of course we only ever knew the story that Chiron and Zeus told everyone. We never actually got Thalia's perspective. Like, the books are told from Percy's perspective. We don't get Thalia's perspective. The only time we get the perspective of other characters is when we reach into Trials of Apollo and Heroes of Olympus, when we finally get other characters like Annabeth, Piper, Jason. Like, beautiful. But yeah, oh my gosh, guys. This series took way longer than I meant it to. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I went through a major depressive episode. And I got BPD, so It's a landslide. But I think I'm doing okay now, mostly. Um, done with school for now until September when I have to go to college. Um, but yeah, so that was it for my season 2 series. In a couple months, probably in July or August, I will do a comparison of season 1 from the book to the show, everything they changed, everything they kept in, things I liked, disliked, things that I think made sense budget wise. And yeah. Anyways, I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and maybe check out some of my other ones. And I really, really hope to be back soon with more videos because, again, it's summer. I'm starting to feel more productive. I am ready to make content for you. And I have lots of video plans. Okay, guys, I'll see you in the next one.